In today's stamps, we're going to visit Austria. Okay, now our first two groups are used ones, and they're all from 1890 to 1905. So you're talking like 120 years old for these. Look at that, ain't that cool? That old and still be good. Wait till you see the last two videos. Okay, well, let's start with these right here. Okay, so you have a 5 in a green. You have a 6 in a brown. You have 35 with a different design going around the portrait in green. Then in your second row, you have, it looks, I don't know if it's a faded out purple in 40. A blue in 50, and a brown in 60. All the same fella. Okay, now let's go to our second group. Here we are. Now they look a little bit different. Look at that pink. That first one. The 10 is in black. Almost like they put it on only afterwards, like they forgot to put it on when they printed it. So they had to go back and they put it in black, because that's different than what we seen in the first group and in the rest of this group. So that 10 was like an added, what do we need the most of? And then they put it in. So you have a 10 in the pink. You have a 20 in the brown. Then in your second row, you have a blue in the 25 and a 30 in the burgundy. It's that first 10 there, that pink one in 10, that I think is the interesting one as to why the number wasn't put on to begin with. It had its little square, but it never put the number in. And the square was kind of like colored in, you know, it's some little pink design. So they weren't sure. They made the stamps, but they weren't sure what the value of the stamp should be. All right. And these are all from 1890 to 1905. Both these two groups. Now let's move on to some more. I mean, these are like 120 years old for these two groups. Now let's move on to some that are about 100 years old. But what's really cool about these is that they're not used. These are all fresh, never used stamps. Okay, and this is from 1922 to 1924. So these are 100 years old. Look how great of condition, unused. So these are really cool to have. Okay, I got a few more that goes with that set and stuff. But here we have 7.5 in the burgundy, 12.5 in the green, 20 in the blue, 25 in burgundy, 180 in the red, and 200, you might call it a pink, or a very, very pale red, but I think it's more like a deep pink. So you'll have to judge that one for yourself. It kind of looks still red, but just not as bright as the 180. But these are all unused. So that's what makes them valuable. They're 100 years old and unused. Very cool. Okay, now the last group we have is this group too. Now look at these. These are also unused from 1920 to 1924, so still 100 years old, unused. That is really, really cool. Okay, we have 10, 25, 40, So if you know of people who collect stamps that are over 100 years old, 100 years or more, unused, be sure to send them the video, because these make it great. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and share with others. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Bye-bye.